you see what you believe will be your destiny. Like they say, everybody can take this ride. Sometime you must encourage yourself to live the good life. Everybody wants a good life. Yeah, a piece of pie. Good life. See, everybody wants the good life. The good life.
Hey, everybody. How you doing? I'm Musa Jackson, and this is Ambassador Digital Magazine Live. Always good to have you guys with us. At another week on the books, and so much always happening, baby. That's one thing I know about to expect every single week. I'm excited for this show. I have an amazing guest. And so I can't wait to bring him out a little bit later. As you know how we do, we always talk a little bit about what's happening out there in the world. And where do we start? Let's start with the New York Attorney General Letitia James filed charges against you know who, and joined forces with the Manhattan DA to file charges against Orange Thing, Trump Organization, and his kids. Okay, so they're trying to bring the heat. They're going to bring the heat to that family we're talking about. They're pulling in the offspring, Ivana, Eric, and Donald. I think the only one living out is Tiffany and Barron. Okay, but she's on top of that. So we're talking criminal charges there. And then just what you got for me, Paul? Yeah, there it is. There's our Letitia. She is our New York Attorney General. Is on this. Thank you so much, Gerald. Is on this. I love that about her. I love that she's just not letting him off the hook. He's a criminal. We all know that. And now, as no longer the president of our country, she can really go in, and I'm just grateful that they're going forward with that. It just seems like every time I come on this show, or not a month goes by that we don't have some type of I call it the bullshit excuse of the week. In regards to Andrew Brown Jr., the black man who was killed by police officers. And so what they just said was that they were trying to release the videotapes. His family wanted them to release the videotapes. And what they did find out that as the car was fleeing or whatever, that he was shot 5 times and once in the back of the head. So I guess, and it was perceived as a threat. So fleeing in the opposite direction from cops who are basically there for perceived threats, but coming at them, not leaving, was enough for them to call this a justifiable homicide. Okay. So once again, Black America is a target of police practice. So this is what we're up against. As we know. And the Senate just approved a special commission on what happened, obviously, on the insurrection that happened on January 6th. Very happy about that. The Republicans, as we know, were complicit in this. And I hope they're all shaking, which they're not. But I'm glad that the Senate did a special commission on this. So I love that we're putting heat to this situation. And, and that we let them know that this is, there will be some accountability, I hope. Okay. Moving on to some good news is we always love to celebrate birthdays here. And so this week, what do we have? We celebrated the great, amazing Grace Jones. We all love Miss Grace. Vow to Miss Grace. Our Harlem's Prince, greatest son, Malcolm X. You can pull up, okay. And the great Lorraine Hansberry, all on the same day. That's, you know, an amazing day. Today also is a good friend of mine's birthday, Nicole Fishley. She's an icon in the fashion industry, has brought many designers to America. She was, there's the great Lorraine Hansberry from Raising the Sun, first Black woman to ever have a play on Broadway, if you didn't know. And one of our very own, Stephen Rice. We love you to death. We thank you. He is our hairstylist on a lot of our shoots and does makeup when we need to. And he's just the best out there in the business, one of the best. So we love you to death. And I just want to give a last shout out. Oh, there's Stephen. We love you, Stephen. Hope you had a great birthday. See you soon. Want to also just talk about, like, just say thank you to the Black women out there. Stacey Abrams, you know, when we think about where we are today and what she did in Georgia, and then also Letitia James, these two strong, dynamic women are not letting this country get off the hook with what's happening and definitely pushing us forward. And I think we don't celebrate them enough. I want to celebrate them, okay? So anyway, I want to say that. So listen, I'm so excited for our honored guest tonight. He is, how do I say about this gentleman? And I seem to be coming in. I hope, don't mess with me now, internet. But our first guest is celebrity party promoted to the stars. He's incredible. He's a host, major influencer, the master connector of all time, a New York City icon, the fiercest, most fabulous of them all out there. I have to bring on the one and only, honey, the legendary Damon. Yes.
What
yes.
up? What up? What up?
What up? Yes. We got to take you in. Yeah. We got to take all of you in, always.
Please do. How are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm good. Good to see you.
Good. I'm glad.
Thank you for being on our show. Thank you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. I'm glad that you are celebrating birthdays of many icons that were born this week.
Yes. Well, and I know one of your favorites of all time is Miss Grace.
True.
We love her.
Yeah. I love her.
We'll get into that a little bit later because I know you have your Grace story. But you know, one of the things and look at this behind him, y'all. Y'all know, if only we had that wardrobe, honey. You need your own line. You need everything. You need your own glasses. Look, you just you're like, you know, nodding his head. He's like, yes, of course.
I agree with everything you're saying.
Everything, of course. Who wouldn't buy it? So I want to take it back. You know, let's go back. You come from yes, honey. Take it back. Yes, we got to go back. I know you're all of this now, the legend in New York and all over the fabulous places. But once upon a time, honey, you were in Detroit. And tell us about that. What, you know, when people that don't know, you came from Detroit, and what was that like growing up for you in terms of what was happening?
I love Detroit, and I feel like, you know, it's a great place to, I would say, being raised in Detroit and then moving to New York when I was 18 in that order. It's a perfect place to, in a lot of ways, to be raised, I think, you know. It's I just both a gray town and a really creative town. So it's like people either go towards the grayness or they go towards the creativity. And I obviously went towards creativity. But you know, it's a unique town to be. It's very extremely real. They tell it exactly like it is. Very similar to Harlem. That's why I love Harlem so much. You know, Harlem and Detroit are not. They don't have a lot in common at all, but they have a similar feel to me. Is what it is. But you know, Detroit. You know, I always say I got my work ethic, which, you know, I'm very proud. I have a very strong work ethic, which I got from Detroit. It's inbred in the Detroit, and, you know, really good morals, really good work ethic, and, you know, obviously, I'm not even, you know, beginning to talk about the music that's from Detroit, but that's inbred in the culture and in the air. So, and I say too, any person from Detroit has taste in music. Doesn't matter if you're into music or not. You instinctually have a certain knowledge of music, I think, that other towns and cities don't have. So,
Right, right.
and
And
you know, it made me in a lot of ways. You know, I moved to New York when I was 18, so Detroit shaped me in that way, and then I moved to New York. You know, you know, when I go back to Detroit, even now, my friends from in grade school and high school, I really haven't changed that much, which I think is the best compliment I could ever get. You know, like they're like, you're the same you.
right. And were you, and I know music and musical influences were a big part of your upbringing, right? Were you in like any kind of like, and you're so theatrical, were you any acting classes or theatrical classes? Because you just seem such a natural for that.
I don't think I've never acted in my entire life. I don't even think was I ever. Oh, when I was really young in the really young grade school, they always put me as the lead in the play, but it just like all the kids would get mad, but I didn't do anything. I'm like, they just put me there. I don't love acting. I never have. I'm dancing. I love music. I've always loved music, and the music makes me feel. The result is I dance. So, you know, music has been my every operation my whole life. So I love to dance, and I started dancing, like, you know, with like hip hop classes and people and things in Detroit when I was a teenager. And when I moved to New York, I did a stint with Alvin Ailey for a minute, which I loved. But it's the music for me. I love dancing, but it's not something I love music way more. So.
Got you.
But they go
got
hand in
you.
hand. They like fashion, dancing. They all go hand in hand to me. To me, it's all the same thing. Acting to me has never been my thing. Ironically, I have an opportunity opportunity coming up, possibly to play myself in something. And I think I keep going back and forth. Do I want to play myself, or do I want someone to play me? I'm really confused. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Would you
love
play
acting.
yourself? Would you play yourself? I mean, who could play you?
I agree. That's the thing. Like, I initially was like, well, no, someone else should play me. But like, I really don't. Anyway, I mean, is it unavailable? Is Liberace available? I don't know. Like, you mean?
Right. I mean, no. Liberace's no longer available, honey.
I know. I'm saying, like, I don't know.
You have to play yourself, and I think people want to see that. Also, I think they're just waiting on those type of things with you. So you're in New York. You come to New York at 18 years old. Land in New York in the early, 90s, and then you hit the nightlife scene, and the club that you hit for the first one that you landed at is Limelight, the notorious Limelight, honey.
Well, it's up because today I was randomly walking down the street. I had a meeting, and I was walking down the street, not really paying attention, and I passed my very first apartment today. And I'm not a nostalgic person. I think looking in the past, in a lot of ways, it's not where my head's at, never has been. And I was like, oh my God, that was my very first time in New York. And it hit me in a great way. And I was like, wow, you know, like the things that I've seen since that day. I mean, and I saw my actual bedroom, like it was right there. I'm like, that's what was my bedroom right there. So that was really, and that's exactly that time in my life. So I got a job working at the Limelight. I was 18. There was a trans person that needed the weekend off, and I filled in for her, and they made me better, so they gave me the job, and then she came back to beat me up the following week. And then I worked there, and you know, it was a really crazy time in New York. I don't know who knows what about the Limelight, but it was an insane time. I definitely didn't realize it till way later. I was just kind of 18 in New York, and these crazy things seemed normal to me at the time, extremely normal, and they were not normal. Like, people were literally dying on the dance floor. They were dying. I was like, it was insane. But I didn't think anything of it at the time. I mean, obviously, it was sad and things, but like, I didn't think anything about, like 10 years later. I just was doing it, you know. But it was crazy there, and that was my introduction to nightclubs. In Detroit, I had been working in clubs and doing a lot of things too for, I would say 15, 16, 17. So I knew of nightclubs, but my first New York nightclub was Limelight.
Right. And well, like I went to the opening of Limelight. So I know what that was like in the New York scene, and especially in the 80s was wild. Anytime up until like recently, basically, but the best was the 70s, 80s, 90s was the best time for nightlife in the city. So having come in that time, that's when it was at the zenith of nightlife. And so from there, you kind of you're meeting people, you're building your honestly, you're building your brand, even though it wasn't maybe called the brand back then, but you're building the beginnings of the Legendary Damon brand, which was the hosting, the parties, the connections, the brand connections, the celebrity wrangling, all those things started to occur. And so what would say the foray into the first big party for you outside of Limelight?
So after Limelight, then I just worked in, club after club after club and started hosting parties, and they just becoming bigger and bigger. And I just had a Zoom right before this about this girl's writing a book. And I said, party at Lotus in 2001, right after September 11th. Studio 54, what is that? What was that? So I did a party at Lotus, and that went on to be this really insanely amazing, successful party. They call it the Studio 54 of hip hop. Every celebrity was there under the sun, and it was Jay-Z, Pharrell, and Puffy reserved the first 3 booths for over a year straight. Every single celebrity was coming there, but it was really diverse and mixed, and gay and straight and black and white and all these different things, which a hip hop party really hadn't been that way up until that point in and it was a really a very successful and great and a party, and I think that's what really kind of started the Legendary Damon at that part, and like you said, I had been probably not consciously developing the brand. I've always loved people. I love meeting people. I don't care if you're weird. That doesn't bother me. I like that kind of, I like when it's not weird. And I've always liked connecting people. I always love when friends become friends, which a lot of people don't like that. I always like, if I introduce you to someone and y'all go and have lunch, I like that. That makes me happy. I'm not mad about that. So I think, she asked me this question earlier today too, is she was like, how has working in nightclubs helped you in your events? And I said, because I'm doing an event this weekend, and I said, I got to, learn. Nightclubs are crazy, and there's so much going on that when you're doing an event, I'm prepared for literally anything and can handle it in a very stress-free kind of way, where others, I think, kind of lose their mind. So,
Okay, so speaking of an event, and I have to bring this up because it is. Look at your face, and people bring this up with you all the time. Is that Prince moment?
Yes.
And so, I love that story because it just it's one of those things, those synchronicity moments where everything aligns perfectly. And when you think about it, it's just one of those things that anybody that knows you at the slightest Legendary Damon knows. If any 2 people need to meet, this is one of them. So tell us a little bit, if you don't mind, going over it for the 50th time, but if you don't mind, for the first time on our show, just going over the whole thing with the Prince concert and how that.
First of all, I never mind telling that story. I tell it a million times. So first, I like to start off saying when I was, this big, when I was 6 years old, I became obsessed with Prince and have been still to this day. I grew up loving Prince as a 10-year-old and a 14-year-old. Prince. So, like a lot of people, and so he came in concert Garden in 2006, I think. And so I with my friend, we went to concert. I've been to, at that point, Prince concerts. And she went and bought us a white wine, I remember, and we were in the 12th row, and I finished my wine. I remember putting it down and looking up. For some reason, I remember looking up and pointing in our section. Really pointing. I'm looking around, what hot girl is he pointing at? This girl must be hot. Who is this? And he's pointing. And I look at my friend, and she's crying. He's pointing for 2 minutes at this point, pointing. I look at my friend, and I realize that because she's crying, he's talking about me. I know that because I look at her, and she's crying happy, oh my God. So he tells someone at the video, if he tells someone, no, not you, he's talking to me, oh, me. So then he kind of shows me where to go. He run this way, and so there's 4 to hit the stage, and I remember hitting by the second stair. My body was already moving, and I was like, oh, I remember literally in my head being like, I am so ready for the moment. So I get on the stage, and and he motions for me to like he's like, take over. The stage is yours now. He literally goes something like this. And so I kind of strut on the stage, and then I nudge him, which I don't remember until I saw the video. I nudge him, and then I do my thing on the stage, and he lets me take the stage. And it was an amazing moment because Prince, who I've loved since you come. You mean so?
Amazing. Amazing. And the nudge part, like you're like, get off. This is my moment, Prince. I finally arrived on the stage and I'm here.
In a lot of ways, it does look like that.
There can't be room for two of us. Huh?
He goes like this, gives me the stage. And then that night I kind of text all oh my God, Prince called me on stage. And like unanimously, like 30 or 40 people were like, that makes total sense to me. And I kept saying, it doesn't really make sense to me. And they're like, it makes total sense to us. There's like nothing seems abnormal. They all said it, like 40 people in a row. So
amazing. Was this going on? Did that happen at the beginning of your party when you started doing your parties, or was this after Limelight? What time?
This was in 2006, so I was already Legendary Damon doing Lotus and really successful, and I knew tons of people, but I don't. It was an energy thing, right. I think it was an energy thing. He hadn't been at that point. He hadn't been party. Later, about 5-7 years later, he started coming to my parties, and we got to know each other. But at that point, at all, and he was strictly going on, I think, in energy. So
right, love it. And an interesting thing I know from talking to you, one of the things that one of your influences was Prince, Madonna, Michael Jackson, of course. Nobody alive would not say any of those three really has any kind of sense. And of course, watching Grammys, MTV Awards, all those things. Yes, and I'll say something about this picture. Just freeze on this. I did know Madonna back in the day, right?
Oh,
and my ex-lover.
Please tell me.
Didn't know this, right? Huh?
I said, please tell me. I not know that. Please tell me everything.
Oh, well, I met Madonna in 1983, right when she was with Jelly Bean Benitez. I was living in the Village and working downtown, and I started modeling. And Keith, I don't know if it was Keith Haring. No, actually, I met her on my own, beyond Keith Haring, and then obviously me, Keith, Madonna, Basquiat, and those guys. This was like the beginning, pre-Area. We were at the opening of Area and stuff like that. And cool, cool. She was cool back then until she got really huge. But this particular photograph, my ex-lover put the comb bras on her.
Put what?
He styled this photograph.
Amazing. First of all, I know that.
Amazing. Gaultier. Yes, honey.
I know that photograph very well. Jean-Baptiste Mondino shot it. It was part of the magazine. You're talking to me. I know. Trust me.
I know you know it all. And it was styled by Freddie Lebo.
And she was wearing a 2-finger ring. She has it in her hand. I know about that photo.
So anyway, yeah. So tell us. So here you are now, and you're working with the Madonnas. You're working with all these people that you looked up to and everything like that. That's a different kind of skill. Knowing this business and having those, because they're not the most trusting people. Okay. And so to have that, how did that sort of blossom into what it is now? Because it's a big thing.
Well, I think, if I really think about it, that I got to work with Janet Jackson a lot the last couple of years. I worked with Prince, got to work with Prince many times. It was, amazing. I think the thing is that I am really passionate about what I do. And I like to do, great moments. I like to produce great moments. So I think that people, want that as well. I think people want, and I'm been doing time, and I'm really creative, and I'm really, I understand moments really well. I think I know how to, like I did some, when Jennifer Hudson and I together, I did these moments with, that was the first time we met, actually, her and I. That's the first moment we met. We clicked right then. So I think the thing is that I'm passionate about what I do, really creative, and I'm good. I'm very keeping everything under wraps. I think a lot of people do this a lot. I don't talk. I'm not a talker at all. I never talk. And I want it to be great. I think that's a really important part of it. I want it to be great, and I think everyone involved will be great. So people, fortunately, have reached out to me to Paris at the Vivienne Westwood fashion show. Vivienne Westwood for the front that day.
And Janelle Monáe,
yeah.
Janelle Monáe, I would sort of jump in, and you know, we adore, we love us some Janelle Monáe, okay? And I was just gonna say, that's your girl.
Yeah, that's my girl.
That's your girl. That's one of your girls. But I've met you. I've seen you guys. Met you guys together, and it's like I feel like this. There's certain people in your life that there's a kindred spirit, and there's something I don't know. Because I'm Pisces, so I'm just being me, honey. And this is, and I feel this spiritual energy also. Just saying that.
Well, I like telling the story of how we met because it only like makes sense to what you just said. We were at a party. It was a new artist, and I think we saw each other at the party. I was saying our eyes locked critically, and we never looked back. And to be honest, I've known her a really long time. You know, a brand new artist, and I was an amazing performer when she first came out. She's an amazing performer now. She's always been amazing, and she's one of those people that's committed to being an art, like committed to art, and I respect. He thinks this, you know, we mutually think that about each other. I think so. You know, we love art to the core, and that's what we do. You know, so I love her. We get along, so we are always together, and we have fun together. That was at the Color Purple opening night. That's my too. I would say about Jennifer Hudson, what you see is what she's like. She's honest. She's herself at all times. You know, some people are like, you know, You know, she is herself at all times, and you know, I could see her sing. I could see Janelle Monáe perform once a week for the rest of her life. I could hear her sing literally once a week or once a day for the rest of my life. I feel so fortunate to be friends with these people that are my friends. I'm such a fan of their art and them as a person. It's like two different worlds to me. Like, you know, their art is so amazing to me. I'm a fan of art. That's what it is. And you know, and I feel so fortunate to be able to go see Jennifer Hudson sing live and then also go to dinner. It's like two different things, you know. So,
And you and I both know that that's a trust level. I totally understand that because people want to feel comfortable. They want to let their hair down. They don't want to, you know what I mean? And they have to feel a certain connection with the person, and you have that.
Well, Ben told me, and not the first time I heard this, is that I don't change like because. You know, I tell people the truth. You know, if someone is doing something that I don't think is like great for their career, or you know, I don't like a certain thing, I would say it in a not a mean way, obviously, but in an honest way. And I think that a lot of people don't do that, or something. I don't know. I mean, so I quote unquote keep it real with everybody. You know, from the busboy to the, you know, to the owner of the club to the, you know, whoever it is. I keep it real. But first of all, Little Kim, I have to be honest with you. I love Little Kim so much. She's performed for me several times. I'm obsessed with Little Kim in you know, in a very real way. And the fact that to this day that Little Kim knows me is still makes my heart skip a beat in a great way. When I see her and she says, "Oh my God, Damon, I love you." You know, I still, a part of me still kind of says, "Oh my God, I can't believe Little Kim knows me." You mean? And I love her. She's amazing. She's so sweet, so nice. I have a great story about her. She performed at my birthday party, I don't know, about 6 years ago, 7 years ago. And we were coming out of a spaceship together. And I was going to do the puffy part, no time, you know, he's in the beginning of the song. And then I was going to rap that part, stop it saying, I don't know how to rap. I need help from someone, and then pull her out of the spaceship. So you know, when we booked her, I said, make sure you guys tell her manager, make sure she knows this information. When she got there, she did not know the information at all. And I said, so we're going to go in a spaceship together. I'm going to come out, and then I'm going to bring you out. And I looked, you know, and I was waiting for her to be like, I'm not doing that, or this is crazy. And she literally was like, sure, sounds great. I'm like, I love that girl. I mean,
and you know what I love about you is that one of the main things with you is that there's line Jillian Hervey, but your friendship, you mentioned your friendships, and beyond just celebrities, right? I love your group of creatives when I see you. I do. I have my own friends, and I love seeing that close connection that you have. And I can see that this is the family that you created. And I think that's really wonderful and important, especially for us creatives and just in general. Damon delivers every time. Okay, TT, yes. And that's true. So
I tell my clients, yeah, I like to deliver. You know, Nelly, obviously. That was Matt Ball. I don't,
I love Nelly. I love Nelly. We got to say that. We love her. Okay.
Nelly's my, my sister. I don't know what she is to me. My, beyond sister, more than that. So. Right. That's my birthday invitation. Shot by Sarah McColgan. I love that photo. This is fun looking at these pictures, actually.
Oh, good. Good. This is you. I love, and Lynn.
So Lynn is special in the way that, like, I don't know Lynn that well. We see each other at Essence Festival every year. We're always really nice to each other, but I will tell you something about Lynn. I love telling this story. We maybe text from time to time, but, I have never talked to her on the phone before. So I would say about May of 2020, she called and I answered, and she said she's just calling to check on me. She knows that my industry has been, completely a wrap, which I thought was so sweet, for her to even think that. And we ended up having a really long, great conversation. As you know, she's very soulful and has a lot of wisdom and experience. And she said, only the real and only the strong will survive this. And I was like, girl, she was preaching to me. It was so nice of her to call me. And, I love her. So
I love that. You do also the undeniable of Legendary Damon, which is party promoters, as event producers. But the thing that people love about you so much, first off, is the visual and what you bring to it. You bring so much. You are over the top. You are fabulous. You take it there. And not too many people, they used to do that in the 80s back in my day, but not even not completely like with the way that you're doing it continuously. And I love that. Where did that come from? Where did the sense of, go ahead.
This was this past Sunday. I had a Pose viewing party, and that entire group is all trans women. All trans women. And I'm just so proud to.
We're proud to, can't hear you, baby. I can't hear you.
I love them. They're sweet. My question about
trans community. I love my trans community. We both do.
Well, again, I do things I don't think I do it with such a distinct intention. And, I was in the past couple of years, a lot of places, people have thanked me for creating a safe space for them. And I'm like, I'm just doing what I feel, I'm just going. I'm just, I'm not so, I'm not so calculated. I don't really think things out. I kind of do what I feel passionate about right then. Like that party came together in a couple of days. So, question about my style though, it's like, I don't know. I would say, first of all, I say it's just clothing. It's not brain surgery. It's just clothes, and I don't know. I feel like, again, I was inspired by things we talked about. I was inspired by, Prince and, Liberace and these kind of things, so I believe if I dress up, they will dress up. I want to, if I dress up, it makes them want to dress up, the people. So but I like dressing up. I love it, obviously. You know what I mean? So I'm like, who's that? You and I. Oh, cute.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Hey, we do our homework. One thing I love about you also is that what you said, and I'm going to go back. The reason why, whether you're gay, whether you're trans, whether you're Asian, whatever, right? The reason why everyone is because you live in a diverse world where you believe in that, and that's the safe, comfortable space. So you don't have to, now there's laws. It's the trans cause. It's the Asian. You're like, dude, this is my world. Like, so they're already here. You want to spotlight it because it's now the trend. But I get you. But for you, they're already there. Always have been there, and always have been fierce, and always have been beautiful. And that's what I love about. And I think that's what everybody loves about, and why they feel safe and comfortable. And that's, to me, your success also, is that you're inclusive and you give that. Just wanted to say that so people understand a little bit more in terms of where your head is,
Thank you. And I appreciate you saying that. And it has been, my number one goal has been, I guess, to, the term diversity is such an overused term in our in our world right now, which is not a bad thing, by the way. Diverse, you know, is great. But
Mhm.
It's been my like number one thing is to create a diverse room where, you know, anyone's welcome. That's kind of fabulous. And if they're and that is it. Like, you know, anyone is welcome. And if anyone coming in has a problem with that, then you're not welcome. You have to leave, you know, like, so
Right.
I hopefully have created a really, you know, I just love putting people in a room together that would never know each other otherwise, but I know them both and I know that they're going to end up getting along, and then they do, you know, I love that. So.
Right, right. I love that too. One of the things also that you do, one of the great events that you do is your birthday party. I know you couldn't really do it in 2020, obviously, because of COVID and pandemic whole nine, but the last party that you did was in 2019. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. First, I want to tell you, Quincy Jones and I have the same birthday. You just showed the picture of me and Quincy Jones,
Oh.
and he always says that means you're really cool. He always tells me.
Of course.
Okay, so my birthday, the last birthday I did was in LA, and it was 1,000 people, and I came in. It was the first time I did my birthday in LA, so I came in on this disco ball throne, was wheeled through the club, went to the stage, went up in the air, 40 feet. Frank Gatson and Yvonne McNair, who I know you know both of them, and I kind of created it together, and I went up in the air and changed in the air and came back down in a different outfit, but you couldn't see me, obviously. Came back down and then left the building. Like, I was here. And then another segment about 30 minutes later, I come out and I'm playing the timbales, which are drums for people that don't know. And I'm playing The Glamorous Life by Sheila E. And then the lights go out and then Sheila E. gets wheeled out and the lights go on and she's kind of looking at me like, that's my song. What are you doing? And I learned how to play the timbales for the party. The minute we booked her, I immediately started taking timbale lessons. So I was really playing. And so we played together. Sheila and I played the timbales together on my birthday, which was kind of a dream. Not kind of, it was a dream come true for sure. And then something else happened at the party. But again, it was just, to me, that's it. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, no.
You learn how to play the timbale.
No, every year I like to learn a skill. Every year on my birthday, I like to learn a skill for the party, whatever that means. Like, I learned how to be an aerialist one year, and I did backflips in the air, which was pretty crazy, and, you know, different things like that. So.
Okay, you know what you just described. You learn how to. This is what he's waiting for. This, right? You're an actor.
No, I'm not. I like to deliver. I say I like to get the people what they want, but I don't know about acting. So, I mean, listen, I'm not opposed to it. I just I would be open to it. First of all, this is amazing. I'm watching this now too, and I'm enjoying it. I'm like, yeah, Sheila E. Like, I'm enjoying it.
Yes, it's Sheila. And let's talk about let's talk about a little bit about during the pandemic. We all went through a lot. We actually started Ambassador Digital Magazine during the pandemic. So this was our creative outlet, and we thrived. For us, we thrived because we were able to connect with our passion and doing things that we love with a creative crew of people that just continued to grow, obviously in a safe way. And one of the things that you did, which was really awesome, was your Legendary Talks.
Yes.
The virtual Legendary Talks, which is a perfect thing for you because you're connecting with people, celebrities and fans and friends, because that's who they are, you know, over IG. Want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it ended up being something that would, you know, turned into something. You know, I started it the end of March. I would say, you know, D Nice and MOS, both good friends of mine, were doing their DJing sets. I was obviously, you know, like the whole world, a little freaked out and down, a little depressed being alone. So I said, I don't know how to interview people. It's not a skill that I had at that point. And I said, I always want to learn that. So I'm just going to go on live with my friends every night and, you know, talk to them. So I did 60 episodes, 60 nights in a row. I started that way. I interviewed, yes, Khaleesi's right there. You know, any one of my friends I would interview, and it started to get really, you know, take a life of its own. And it ended up being this really great documentation of culture. And it kind of shifted to people that had been really important to culture. So I got to interview some people that I know, but that I got to give them their flowers, you know, now. A lot of really interesting people that have influenced me and been inspirational to me. And then, then I started to get alcohol sponsors, and then it turned into this thing. And I did 150 episodes in like a really short period of time. But then a friend of mine pointed out that it's exactly what I always do. I was connecting with people, like, all the comments would be friends, and I would be talking to someone like you, and it was like, none of us could do anything, but people were watching. Some people watched every single night, kind of 7 days a week. And I was doing 7 days a week. I said, I won't stop until the pandemic was over. I did stop. I did take breaks, but like I did actually, when George Floyd happened, I took a break around that. I was like, this is heavy for, but I did up until George Floyd every single night of the week, 7 nights a week. So, and then I did, couple nights a week and started up again and went up and down. But it's been a really great thing. And like I said, I've gotten to interview people like Johnny Nunez and people that are not necessarily celebrated, and got to celebrate these people that, I did Timac from The Last Dragon. I did D Nice. I did Misty Copeland. I did, Khalees. I did, DJs that maybe people don't know, but, I just, all these really great people that have been really important to culture. I said some famous, some not. And it, that's Bevy right there. My girl Bevy did my 100th episode.
Love it. We love Bevy. Yeah, my girl. I love that. I love you. Like they said, you're perfect for that. Just kind of keep. Okay.
I do want to say about Bevy, and I think, I tell everyone every opportunity I get, Bevy's another one. I think Bevy, gets a lot of accolades, but she does not get the credit that she deserves for paving the way for people like me. And she's such a trailblazer in the fact that, she's just such a trailblazer. I don't think people really see that about her. They see her being, witty and smart and, and a great, host and all these different things. All that's great. But none of that even would have come about if she wasn't such a bold and amazing trailblazer. And I, tell her all the time. And I'm so grateful for her and for what she's done for people like me. So, Bevy.
Yeah, I love Bevy. You know that.
Yep.
And I agree. Everything that you said, I agree 100%.
Yep.
I think it's important what you're doing in terms of just giving, just like you said, giving flowers, and especially, one of the things we pretty similar with the magazine was giving flowers as well during this time, because there was so much uncertainty. There was so much, people were depressed. Let's just go there. And and having a light like yours, I can understand why people were tuning in every night. I can understand that, because, we still needed to connect to something beautiful, something hopeful, something familiar, and also maybe connect and hear how people are doing during that time. And I love that
a couple of things. After my first episode, my friend, who actually is the one that kind of like nudged me to even start doing it, said, Erica Hamilton, shout out to Erica Hamilton. She said, for the first time in like 3 weeks, I didn't think about the pandemic during my IG Live. And I said, oh, this is an amazing show too. She got racially profiled and went to jail and didn't do anything. So it's her birthday today. Actually, it's her birthday. Cipriana Kwan. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Wait, her sister is TK Wonder. I love them both very much. Wait, and then also the rule for me was no pandemic talk on my show. We're there to actually uplift for that 1 hour and talk about other things. So I did not let people talk about Corona, pandemic on the show at all. It was all cultural and, uplifting things. So.
Okay. That was the criteria for that.
Yep. No pandemic talk.
No pandemic. Okay. And so tell us a little bit about, there's other things that you're involved in that I think people don't know about that are near and dear to your heart. We do, obviously there's the big things. There's the Met Gala, there's the Lux Ball, there's all these sort of your James, all these great parties. But behind the scenes, you're also involved in different causes and with charities that I think are important to you. Can we talk about that a little bit? Because I think that's important.
Yes. So I always say, like, even with posting, I post exactly what I feel. So I'm not the kind of person that says I'm going to post Monday at 12 o'clock. I post what I feel when I feel it. And I'm always going to be that way. So if I post something on social media that is, supporting something, it's because at that moment I feel that way,
Right.
But I believe I'm a big volunteer. I volunteered for most of my adult life. I think it's really important for me personally. I think, in general, people, it's great for everybody, but for me, it's helped me keep my life balanced for many years. I would say it can't always be champagne and caviar at a dinner. Your life can't always be that way. It has to be for me, it just helps me keep everything in perspective. And keep me really balanced, which is something that's very important to me. And because my life can be, really fabulous in a lot of ways, which I'm very grateful for. But not that you buy into it, but you know, you can kind of just only see it that way. And this just helps me to keep everything in perspective. And, you know, I volunteer with, you know, I've done, you know, I volunteered in Harlem at schools for many, many years. The school on 124, PS1, I can't remember PS what, whatever. On 124, they volunteered there for about 7 years. I worked with foster kids a lot. Now I do homeless. So,
And you're up
you
here.
know, I volunteer pretty much, you know, with my schedule permits once a week, at least once a week. And, you know, I've gotten to know a lot of these people for real. So, you know, I know them, and, you know, it's a really, just a really important part of my, you know, the balance of my life. And it's really important to me. So.
Cool. Well, this is the point of the show where we talk about our photo shoot. And I was so excited. How this came about was you were in Miami at Cidra's.
Yes, exactly.
You were in Miami at Cidra's, and it's like, hey, what's up, girl? We check in. Said, oh yeah, Legendary Damon's here. It's like, oh my God, right? And then we were both, and we're all Pisces. So at that moment, I was like, we kind of stood at the same time. I said she finished it perfect for the cover, literally. So I'm gonna call him. She's gonna never da 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 da. And then obviously we set it up in LA, and of course our team in LA, REESE got to shoot you. REESE and Jamar got to shoot you, and the pictures are fantastic. I might add. I can't wait to show you. This is where we bring in REESE, and he talks a little bit about that. And Jamar, hey guys.
Hey, what's up? Hey, Damon.
Hi.
How you doing, sweetheart?
Good. First of all, I love them. Musa, we got along so well in the show that they came to my party, I think, a day or two later, and we were like solidified as friends ever since. We're like, we were
done deal.
We got along great.
So much fun at that party. Yes, his party was like the shit. I can't tell you, just the aesthetics and everything. Yep. I can't wait for the next one. You left us right after that party, and that's the last. That's all we're left with.
Give a little tease. Listen, I love to give a little tease and then be gone. People always say, let's hang out today. I'm like, I'm already gone. I'm like,
oh, wow. I'm not mad at it.
Already in another state.
Okay. We might have to go out there and catch up.
There will be more for sure. Trust me.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Tell us about the shoot. Tell us about that.
Well, this shoot was really cool because it only was us three.
Just the three of us.
Usually we have a whole team, but the whole team is all in one with him. So we didn't need it. I just need my guy to help me out with lighting and help me carry stuff and stuff like that. Let me know if everything's in focus. Everything else is Damon.
I would say I'm much more low maintenance than you think I am. You know, people that don't know me are always, you know, think I'm like, you know, shady and a diva and high maintenance. I'm like none of those things. I'm actually
not at all. Not at all.
And he can't stand that type of feel, and he just loves you. We talked about him when he got out of the car. He was like, he's so down to earth. Yeah. And that was one of the things we really did relate with him on. And I'm trying to tell you, besides all the high maintenance stuff, but when you look at the pictures, yeah, you definitely get that. When you get his style and everything, you may think that, but yeah, he's definitely down to earth.
Oh yeah, Damon was down. Like we was all in Reese's pickup truck. It's one row, so I'm in the middle. So we were just riding around,
it was fun.
Jumping out of the cars, with cameras and reflectors and.
What I remember, someone asked me about the shoot. I'm like, basically, we were on the streets, and I feel like I don't even feel like you guys were. I was communicating with everybody on the street a lot. Like, conversations with, we're like, I felt like it was like a neighborhood vibe. Like, you know, at one point, like they kind of knew what we were doing by that point. They were just like, I feel like I was talking to everybody. Everyone was talking to me on the street, and I was kind of conversing with all them. So, which is my comfort zone, to be honest.
Yeah. He definitely did attract a lot of attention walking down. Everybody thought he was so fly.
Okay, honking their horns.
Yeah, honking their horns. Actually, literally videoing us while we're doing our thing. It was crazy, but we loved it.
Yeah,
we loved it. I can't wait to see these pictures, though.
Well, this is the point in the show where we do the cover reveal. So, all that hard work. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
All, are you ready?
Ooh. Boom. Use that one. Okay. Very handsome and regal.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah, I love it.
Like I am.
I love it.
And we did something that we've only done a couple of times, or maybe 2 or 3 times so far in you're the 43rd cover.
What is that?
And that is a dual cover.
Ooh, oh shit. All right.
I like the sound of it. Oh,
yes, honey. Yes, honey.
That's the one, honey. That's it.
Yes, honey.
That is the one.
That is my.
I love it.
That is fire. I love the other one. I love the other one, Reese and Damon and Jamar. But when I saw this, I keep it real. I'm Harlem, right? When I saw this, I went.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Everything.
But guys, when we took that photo, we knew it. That photo.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was like that.
We knew it. We knew it then.
We said it. Yeah. We
sure
said
did.
it.
I think we said that was the one. That was the first look and the first we had met 10 minutes before we started
10
shooting
minutes before that, right? Yep.
And we were out of there like really quick. Like we didn't take much shots of that.
No.
I love that.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's so fucking good.
I agree.
Yeah. Oh,
I can't wait to put it up.
It just says, this is where I go in, David. It just says everything for me. It tells me, the personality, the style, the command. I love the glitter. Also, Ambassador with the purple is a nod to, obviously, people that don't know. Y'all stalling. And I just love, it's just the composition, the layout, everything. It just nails it for me. So
the one and only, love it.
The one and only,
love it.
Yes. So there you have it, my love.
Love it.
Thank you so much, you guys. Once again, this is it's so dope. Thank you guys. I see you commenting. Yes, dope. It's fire.
Yes, it is.
It's fantastic, and they're so different.
That's beautiful too. This is
that's very regal.
It's majestic.
That's great as well.
Yep.
I love it. It's beautiful.
Beautiful cover. Totally different vibes.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I love them both. I do. I love them both. Fabulous.
You did that, Damon.
You did it. We all did it. It was fun. It was totally fun. I enjoyed myself. I loved shooting with you guys. You know that. I told you.
Well, we'll be shooting again, most definitely.
First of all, we're changing on the street. It was a hot mess and an amazing mess. I loved it.
It sure was.
It was a hot.
And you did it in 90 degrees?
Yeah, it was so hot.
It was really hot.
I think we busted out how many looks? 5, right?
5? Yeah. And Damon was quick too with that change. Yeah, quick. I was like, damn.
Yeah, we got about 10 minutes to shoot in this because the sun was beating on me and it was 90 plus degrees, 93, 94 degrees. And I was like, I got about 15 minutes in each shot to me.
And it was heavy quality, material too. So I knew that helped. That didn't help at all.
Well, first I was wearing fur and half the photos I'm wearing fur.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But I was so amazed how quick and precise you were when you're changing, in and out, in and out, in and out.
Yeah,
I was like, I remember being like, "Wear those black glasses." I was obsessing about my cufflinks, things like that. I remember being like that.
But you're on it. It was all there, and he was very neat and organized.
Ooh, that's great. I love
that.
That looks great. Love it.
Very. I love the whole film of this.
Fabulous.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, everything about that. Everything about that is
love it.
Everything about that. The lean,
everything.
The head going this way. I'm big into composition. Composition is important, and this is just everything is symmetrical for me. I love it.
Yeah.
As it's just a photograph.
Yeah.
It's really amazing.
Love it.
It's so crazy. You wouldn't even think there's a store right to the right of us. There's a store and a whole bunch of people going by and everything. It's crazy. It doesn't even feel like it felt like he was the only one there right there.
If they knew the chaos that was happening in front of my eyes, there was so much going on. That photo looks amazing. I love that photo.
Me too.
So beautiful. Reese, it's gorgeous.
I agree. It's gorgeous.
Thank you.
It really is gorgeous. It's so good. I want to show them all.
Hold up now.
So we gotta save some for the magazine. But
Yeah, right.
Really? Really?
There's even another one. Oh wait, what did Paul? Rest on Rob's website. LOL. Okay, because there's another one. Oh, Damon.
One more.
We get one. They hold on. Let me. Paul's like the little wizard behind. Paul, one more, please. One more.
I love that picture.
Please,
I love
sir.
it too. Yeah, it's fun.
Please, sir.
It's theatrical.
One more, please, sir. It's so good. Beautiful job, guys.
Oh, thank
yes,
you.
it was all of us together.
No more photos. No more photos. We're done.
Wait.
Ooh,
Oh, you seen that one? You seen that one?
Oh yeah, that
That's a beautiful photograph. And it's got to load. It's not finished loading. It's not finished. Okay, there it is. Loading.
Yes.
But I love this one too.
yeah, this was cool too.
I like the angle and everything.
There's a few more, just that you know. I think he's saving that. I know my fault.
Boo.
Oh, Paul, you getting booed. He's like, he's like, hold on.
Yeah, probably next tomorrow though.
Wait. Do we get bam?
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Cute.
That's hot.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Wonderland.
Oh,
There you go. Yeah. Well, I think you're only down to one more picture.
There's another. Yeah, there's another one too. Yep. But anyway,
Thank you.
We'll save that for the website. Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say, Mr. Legendary Damon, and the children better call. We talked about that, honey. They better recognize.
Okay.
Yes, to recognize, honey. Just want to say thank you so much, obviously, for coming on our show, telling us your story.
Absolutely.
You know, your rise, your it's inspirational to the kids out there that are coming behind us, obviously, and embracing our cover. I thank you so much for that. It's gorgeous. I can't wait for it to drop on our website. I'm like a kid at the candy store right now. So I'm at the mercy of Paul.
Thank you, Paul, for this beautiful cover and doing all that.
First of all, Musa, I want to thank you so much for number one, thinking of me. You know, it's my total. I feel honored, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity, and then for connecting me to these guys who are now my friends, and for celebrating me. I want to thank you for celebrating me. I think it's a really wonderful thing that you're doing for me as well. So I really thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Yeah, you deserve it, man. You
definitely deserve it. Especially, it's so wonderful to hear your whole backstory. So thank you. It makes so much sense now.
Yeah, we were like, what? We were every little story you had. Like we were like, what? He did that? What?
Exactly.
So yeah, it was
So
cool. It was great.
And so much more.
Thank you, Musa.
There's a lot, darling. This one here. Okay, we just gave you a little tidbit for us. Okay.
I just gave y'all a little taste, by the way, a little bit.
Taste, honey. But I want to say to everyone, thank you so much for coming, for viewing, for being here for us. We thank you so much. Share this. We are at YouTube, Facebook, Ambassador Digital Magazine. On IG, we're at ambassador_mag, and our website is ambassadordigitalmag.com. We thank you guys so much for just being here, doing your thing. We love you, and keep spreading your love, man. Keep bringing us together, keep connecting us, and doing what you do so brilliantly, so fabulously. I thank you so much. Live your life,
everybody. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. We miss you on the West Coast. Get back home.
I'm coming. I'm coming.
I'm coming. My loves. Good night. A great night.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Wow.